Welcome everyone to another session of the Mastermind Book Club. In tonight's book, I have Charles Comer who will introduce our book. And
Good
first
evening.
summary.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight's book is by Peter Lynch, Learn to Earn, A Guide to Investments. My short summary of the book is that savings, keyword savings. He talked about buying a car versus getting a used car. Pretty much he said the car was a brand new, let's say Chevy Corvette. The Corvette was very nice when the young kid bought it. Let's say your son or daughter buys it. It was a very nice car. After a while, it gets a stain on the rug, gets a couple of dents in it, and as time goes by, it's not the novelty that it was. But now you have a $30,000 note versus another young lady who took uh, the same down payment of, let's say, $5,000, and she invested in a used car. So over time, that Corvette ran the young gentleman about $60,000, whereas the young lady was able to save that money, buy real estate, and she came out on top versus the other kid who was interested in the girl. She bought property. She bought her investment property, and consequently, she wanted to date the real estate guy. But that's my short comment on tonight is savings. We have to do what we can while we can to save.
Thank you.
America is very low in the savings category. All the other
Yes,
countries are beating us
correct.
in
Correct.
saving.
I
We have a
agree.
microwave economy. We want it now. When a lot of times we should postpone our instant gratification and save. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles. Reggie Hilliard.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Reggie from the Mastermind Book Club. The first time or the best time to save is now or when you're younger. The first and best time to save is when you're younger. The next best time is to save now. Not all savings is the same, right? In the sense of when you take money and you just put it on the mattress, you plug it, and just some confines where it's not gaining any interest. That's not the same. But if you could take that money and as Peter pointed out, one of the best things to do is to take advantage and put it into like the stock market. You could take advantage of the growth of a company if you invest in good companies. Those companies over the course of time begin to go up, as a general rule of thumb. And before you know it, what has started as $1 becomes hundreds and thousands of dollars. So this is something that is not always advocated, especially to our young. But again, if you can get people going younger, it's better because they have much more time for that money to compound. But if not then now, because as long as you're doing it, you at least have a chance to gain from the return that you're going to get from that money invested. So just get in when you can and do your best to invest in a quote unquote right companies that you've done research and stuff on so that you can get a better return.
Thank you, Reg. Thank you. Peter Lynch in this audiobook gives us a lot of fundamentals on how to invest, how to look for companies, how to stay on top of Wall Street, and what the big difference is between investing in small companies, let's say your local mom and pop store, compared to these big corporations like McDonald's, Johnson and Johnson, and so on, Raytheon, and many other names that he mentions. Peter Lynch invested in about, I believe it was 1,100 or 1,500 companies, and he made a lot of money. On average, he made about 11% a year for 20 years, and that is an amazing record. How do you know how much did he make? Well, there's something called the rule of 72, which means if you divide 11 into 72, it gives you the number of years it takes for your money to double. And that's, I believe, close to 7 years or so. Every 7 years or so, your money doubles. Although the second time around, it should be a little bit less, but somewhere around that same amount is what it is at 11%. That's wonderful. Now, how do you get to these companies? There are many ways. It's described in this book, and I'm going to tell you one is this. We are all surrounded by investment opportunities. Our spouses will purchase at specific stores. Whatever is around us is a possibility of an investment. That is where you start. Don't worry about how much you're going to make tomorrow. Worry about keeping it there for the next 10 to 20 years. That's how you make money. You're not going to make it overnight. You possibly could, but you can also lose it. This is the Mastermind Book Club, letting you know that Peter Lynch provides an eye opener into investing. Why? Because our schools don't tell us how to save with a purpose. Until the next one, we'll review another session of Peter Lynch, another book that he has next week. Take care.